Welcome back to Board Squadron. Today we are looking at Echo / Maya Lopez. Recovery of 3, hand size 6, hit points of 9. Practice makes perfect. Interrupt. When you change to hero form, search your deck for an aspect or basic event and add it to your hand. And then shuffle your deck because you go through your deck. So anytime we're about to flip, you get to do this first. So you're gonna be starting almost with the 7 hand size, which is very good. Or not even just starting, but like anytime in the game when you're going to be flipping. Okay, as Echo, we have 2 stats all around, which just means 2/2/2. Hand size of 5. Defender, martial artist. Watch and learn. Response. After a player plays an aspect or basic event, tuck that event under here from that player's discard pile. Then there are more than 3 tucked cards here. Discard all but 3 of those cards. So it is not a forced response, first of all. And anytime a player, including Echo, the Echo player, anytime someone plays an event, if it goes to the discard pile, you're able to tuck it under her. And just as a small example, these come from her precon deck, so the cards that you get with her right away. So these 3 would just be tucked under her, and that's going to be important for later when you're able to do anything. And again, it is not a forced response, so you could basically choose the event you want to keep under her, which is very cool. Okay, Daredevil, 3 cost, 2 stats, 3 health. Response. After Daredevil uses a basic power, reduce the cost of the next event you play this round by 1. So that's going to be very good, as long as Daredevil doesn't get defeated with the consequential damage. The next event, since Echo is an eventful hero with all her cards in the deck possibly and her own effect, she's very eventful. Okay, Echo's only support, 1 cost the res. Location. Alter ego action, exhaust the res, heal X damage from Maya Lopez, where X is the highest cost among cards tucked under her. So I love these cards that give you an extra ability to heal. Maybe if you had done something earlier on your turn and then you flipped, you're unable to basic recover. I love cards that give you an extra recovery rate or a turn, and depending on the cards among her. So with these 3, it would be the 3 cost. Okay, Muscle Memory. It's a 2 cost skill, hero action. Exhaust this card, add an event tucked under Echo to your hand. So this is going to be for our hero ability. There's a card that we're going to see later that lets us play these cards under her. Until then, we're not able to play these cards. So this card is good to get that card back into your hand and you're able to play it. Improvisation, a 3 cost upgrade. It's a skill. Hero response. After you play an event, if it has the following traits: attack, you heal a damage from Echo. Defense, you remove a threat from a scheme. If it's a thwart, you deal 1 damage to an enemy. So she starts as a precon. I thought it was pretty good, and that's probably maybe how I'll keep her. And this is not limited to once per turn. So if you're playing 2 or 3 events per turn, depending on the cost, of course, and how many cards you have in your hand to pay for those, it is every event. So if you're able to play this event, it's a defense thwart. So you would just look defense, you're going to remove a threat, and then the thwarting lets you deal a damage. If you play that 1 turn, although this isn't the right card since it is a defense one, this one, it has no traits, so you wouldn't be able to do any responses. This one, in harm's way, it's an attack and thwart. You'd be able to do the attack to heal and the thwart to deal a damage. If you happen to play 2 of these in 1 turn, or maybe even all 3, you're going to be able to do this effect 3 times. Anytime you play an event with one of these traits, you're doing it. So this is a very important upgrade, I would say, to play as soon as possible with Echo, just because you get the extra healing or damage or extra thwarting capability. Choreography is a 1 cost upgrade skill. Action. Exhaust this card. Shuffle 1 aspect or basic event from your discard pile into your deck. If you are in alter ego form, draw 1 card. So this does not give us back any of our identity specific events, but it will give us an aspect or basic event. And I love that this is not specific to hero or alter ego, but if you are in alter ego, when you do this, you draw the card. So if you happen to maybe play this first on your very first turn, you know, you used an event to pay for something, maybe like an upgrade, or maybe even this upgrade, you used like this event to pay for this upgrade. This is in your discard pile. Just do this event to shuffle this back in there to your deck, and since you're an alter ego, draw one card. Even if not, you're able to look for an event with the interrupt ability to go to Echo. Okay, American Sign Language is a 2-cost upgrade skill. Hero Response. Exhaust this card. Generate a wild resource for an event being played by any player. You're helping them pay for their events. Maybe it's the event you would like to keep under her. Okay, we're Echo's Katana, a 2-cost upgrade weapon restricted. You are limited to only 2 restricted cards on your field. Hero Response Attack. After you play an event, exhaust Echo's Katana, deal damage to an enemy equal to that event's printed cost. This attack gains piercing. So this card is very good to combo with the improvisation card. I loved having these two out when I was doing the a trial in my earlier episode. So if you're playing for this, you do this effect. It is a 3-cost and increases by 1 for each ally you control. So if you're by yourself, it's 3. If you have up to 3 allies, it's an extra 3 cost. Hero action, attack and thwart. Deal X damage to an enemy and remove X threat from a scheme where X is equal to your defense. So this card will deal 3 damage, or let's say your defense is 2. You're gonna deal 2 damage and remove 2 threats. Then you're gonna be playing your improvisation response or your katana, but we could look at both. So this is doing 2 and 2. Then the attack is an extra heal and the thwart is 1 extra damage. So we could do it up to 3 damage, but this is to an enemy, so it could be a different enemy than the one you're targeting with this. And then our katana, we're gonna exhaust this to deal damage to an enemy equal to that event's printed cost. So even if you paid a 6 for this card, it's the printed cost. So the 3 is printed. So we're doing 2 with this because our defense, 1 with this because of this, and then this we're going to do 3 piercing damage. So you have 3 damages or 3 different attacks going to different enemies should you choose, since this one is piercing. And man, it's just an all-around fantastic combo. And then if you didn't play this earlier, you could tuck this under her, and then there's going to be an event later, so maybe you can play this again. Okay, we have 2 study the tapes. It's a 0 event tactic. Search any player's discard pile for 1 aspect event, 1 basic event, or 1 copy of photographic reflexes and add that card to your hand. So this is a card that you can play in either alter ego or hero form for any player's event. Okay, she has 6 of this event photographic reflexes, and this is probably one of the main cards in her kit. So let's see. No cost. If you are in hero form, you can discard photographic reflexes from your hand to play an event tucked under Echo as if it were in your hand. Reduce the cost to play that event by 2. You cannot trigger Echo's Watch and Learn ability for that event. So as hero, we have let's say 5 of these cards or something. And we have these 3 cards tucked under Echo. In harm's way, get their attention, an army of 1. This was one of my favorites, so I'll just use that for this example. So because this is normally under her, we're not able to just play this unless we brought it back with that 1. This one, the photographic reflexes, lets us play it as if it were in our hand. So this is the way we're playing these cards tucked under her, and we have 6 of these, and you reduce the cost by 2. So the in harm's way, if you have no allies, is a 1 cost event where you're able to do high damage, especially if you're able to boost up her defense, which we know that there are. But just having 6 of these is very fun to constantly use up her Pero response. But because we would play this from our hand with this effect, we do not get to put this back under her. So if we use any card under her, we do not get to just put it back right away. All right, guys, that is Echo.